Elden Ring Night Reign. What exactly is it, and is it worth playing? Hi everyone, I'm Toasty. I stream and showcase a whole range of games to my audience, and I like to give a first honest impression of my time with those titles. First of all, let's cover the basics of the game. Elden Ring is a standalone adventure, designed to offer players a brand new, reimagined gaming experience. The game can be played solo or with up to 3 people in a team, and each player can choose from a wide variety of unique classes to dive into each run in the game. Players will drop into a randomly generated map and begin slaying creatures to gain XP, and searching for weapons, relics, and items to begin growing in strength. You will fight against a whole range of different bosses while you adventure across the map, with each boss dropping a roguelike treasure. Upon interaction with it, players can choose one of the available options, including weapons, XP, items, or character stat upgrades. While you gear yourself up, a blue circle, much like those seen in Call of Duty's Warzone and Fortnite, will slowly creep towards an already known end zone location. This is where you will fight a boss at the end of day 1 and day 2. Each run in Night Reign is set into 3 days. Day 1 and 2 play very similarly. However, on day 3, you will reach the final fight with the Night Lord. To determine which Night Lord you face, you will select them from the round-hold table when you begin your run. If you manage to slay the Lord, you will unlock roguelike currency and items for your account. The overall idea of the game is to slay every Lord. Now that we've established what the game is, here are my impressions of it after 6 hours of playtime. After completing the tutorial and being slapped around by the first boss that you encounter, I found myself in the Round Table Hold. This is your base of operations in Night Reign, where you'll have access to several NPCs, some of which are merchants, selling you the roguelike items to build your character before each run. The visuals of the game are truly magnificent. FromSoft are notorious for creating stunningly immersive games, both visually and narratively. After deciding which character to play for my first run, I dropped into the map with some friends, and before I knew it, I was hacking and slashing my way through creatures and learning the game, a lot of which was not explained properly in the tutorial. I am very lucky to have played with my squad, as they could direct and inform me about map points of interest, how some of the POIs spawn into the world, and they explained how the weapons passives and overall in-run gearing system worked. When it comes to gearing up, Night Reign relies heavily on RNG. I found myself looting bows, axes, daggers with no real time to read and understand what they do, all because of this impending doom of a flaming circle that was creeping super fast towards us constantly. The learning curve for Night Reign felt incredibly brick-wally at first. I was wandering around like a lost child, carrying a whole bunch of weapons that barely fit into my pockets. It wasn't until after 5 or 6 runs that I got to understand what type of passive or active abilities I wanted to find on a weapon, and even after that, I was still discovering new items for about another 3 hours. There is a lot to digest in Night Reign. While some may see this as a challenge, others may find this initially overwhelming. Weapons don't have an easy description to read of what type they are. I couldn't tell a sword from a dagger at times because the weapon art looked very similar. This made it difficult to pick up the melee option that I wanted, as all weapons play and feel very differently when swinging them in combat. Some are weighty, while others are floaty. Going back to the speed of the game, the pace is like Sonic on steroids. It's pretty bloody quick. From the moment that you drop into your map, you are locked into essentially speed running the game to maximize your power output. Now, this might change as you put more time into the game. However, I learned next to nothing in my first few runs because I was like a moth to a flame, flying between parts of the map and trying to read a bunch of weapon or item descriptions at the same time. And instead of whole sentences describing that I get increased damage to spears by 10%, why not just put a spear icon and plus 10% next to it? Job done. I feel like Night Reign is a a game that is testing a lot of new exciting but experimental features for a future FromSoft title, and in its current state as a roguelike, this will keep players entertained for about 40 to 50 hours minimum. There seems like a lot to do and unlock, which is great. However, in true roguelike fashion, burnout will creep up incredibly fast if there's no new content that gets added. Those that enjoy the game will naturally continue to play it, because that's in a gamer's DNA. However, seeing the same map, the same bosses, and the same loot pool, I feel will get tiresome after about the 50-hour mark. I've played a lot of roguelikes in my time, and after beating the game for about 20 or 30 times, I find myself putting the game down and waiting for a content patch. This is where I think NightReign will excel if they create seasonal content. It would be great to see themed seasonal content dropping every 3 to 4 months, with new events, new bosses, new weapons, maybe a new class to play, and a new part of the world to drop into. This for me is what I want to see from this game, and if done correctly, like the Helldivers 2 or Fortnite model, an ever-changing world could keep a lot of players interested, and currently there are a hell of a lot of people playing NightReign. Throw in a battle pass and perhaps an in-game cosmetic store option where you can use your currency to buy fashionable items, and I think NightReign could be around for a very long time. Now, all of these features could already be considered by the NightReign team, and if they are working on a new game, and this is more of a project rather than a product, then perhaps we'll see all of this in years to come, and that's pretty exciting. Moving on, in the original Elden Ring game, it's packed with secrets, places to explore, lore to discover, and finding some of the content proves to be a good challenge. In NightReign, you won't experience the same level of exploration, as you're essentially memorizing a battle royale style map and learning which POIs you want to do in a certain order to achieve your character's peak performance. So if you're expecting the next FromSoft RPG, you won't find this here. The battle royale formula has proven to be rather addictive. Games like PUBG and Apex still have good player counts, so seeing how FromSoft have combined BR-style gameplay with how they've designed NightReign's 3-day cycle, it'll be interesting to see the player retention and the active numbers for this game after a month or so. I genuinely think this will be around for a long time. So do I recommend playing NightReign? The answer is yes. The game is good. The combat is familiar yet fresh. The Souls-like emotions still hold true to the brand, whereby you beat something and you cheer, or you get ruined by something else and expel many expletives, making your neighbors and family question what's going on. But more so, I believe that FromSoft are on the verge of creating a totally new PvE genre that could later introduce PvP. NightReign feels like a project more than a product. There are a lot of new systems that we're seeing in a Souls game, and they feel extremely experimental. I hope that FromSoft can elaborate on these systems and build something that is truly unique. Thanks for watching my initial thoughts on Elden Ring's NightReign. If you want to see more of my content, then check out the videos on screen. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to help its growth. Have a great day and play more games. I'll see you in the next one.